This isn't about printing. It's about better results with over 90 offices right across the country in residential, commercial and rural.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay and App to speed on through. Oh yeah, feels good. Use it at your local participating Caltex.
Hi, I'm Rob from Climbing New Zealand and we're at the Bailey's New Zealand Secondary Schools Rock Climbing Championships. We've got the Senior Climbing Championships on this afternoon that is being televised, and I'm here with Stu from Bailey's. Nice to meet you, Stu. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, Rob. Yeah, great to be here. Great to be involved in this awesome event. And look at the smile on these kids' faces. It's just tremendous.
Yeah, I just love climbing it with all the different kids that are involved in there. And yeah, man, the support from Bailey's for this event has just been amazing. You must be really stoked to be here, eh?
Oh, great to be involved. You know, Bailey's does a lot with the community and a lot with sport all around the country, and especially with New Zealand intermediates and secondary schools. And look at that, the banner's nice and high there, flying us our colours proud. So yeah, lovely to be involved.
Yeah, and such a great company to be involved with too. And you know, you must be looking forward to spring and summer coming up with all those house sales and things.
Wow, yeah, gosh, the sun's shining out at the moment, so hopefully all those anticipating vendors will be getting their properties ready for a good sale. You know, we've had a couple of dynamite years, and the winter has died off a little bit, but yeah, we're looking forward to quite a big spring and summer.
Yeah, fantastic. And you know, just the community support that we see from Bailey's around all the sporting events and that are happening around the place. I think Ames Games is coming up. You guys are involved with that as well?
Yes, we are. And Ames Games, you know, as you know, it's always flooding into Tauranga and Mt Maunganui and all the kids that come through from all over the country. And yeah, again, Bailey's banner will be flying proud and high.
That's so cool. I think 11,000 kids involved in Ames Games. That's a huge amount.
And it's growing every year. And you know, I've heard there's some teams from overseas, and hopefully with COVID, you know, coming to an end, that'll just increase as well.
Yeah, brilliant. But here today we're for the New Zealand Secondary Schools Sport Climbing Championships, and we've had the speed climbing part of it. We've had the bouldering part of it, and the next part will be the lead climbing. So the lead climbing is up on the roof with the ropes. That'll be good to see, eh?
Oh, looking forward to that. I hope not too many kids will fall down and hurt themselves. I'm sure they won't. They're very high-trained athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. They tell me you've got a little bit of a climbing history with a bit of an injury as well.
Yes, well, you know, went on my son's year 8 camp out at Namawahini through Tauranga Intermediate, actually. Up on the climbing wall, and decided to dislocate my knee. So, but lucky enough, the guy belaying me at the bottom was a GP. So he put it back into place, and
wow.
Survived.
All right, we're nearly ready to get on with it. So we'll be watching the guys viewing, and then we'll be watching some great climbing. Thanks so much for joining us here, and thanks for your support. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Rob.
All right, great.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you. We're going to go one. We're going twice. And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather.
Nau mai hoki mai ki tēnei whakāturanga piki āwhata. Yeah, welcome back to streaming. Yeah, I'd like to give a thanks to my little brother for writing that for me. Kia ora, Paurewa.
All right, are we back, are we, Georgia?
Yep.
Oh, who's that guy in the lift there?
Ko tōku pāpā tērā, that's my dad up there.
Just getting everything ready for the climbers to come out and view the next route that they're going to be climbing. So thanks to all the volunteers and the support people that have been helping all week with this event. This event is run by Climbing New Zealand, and a lot of volunteers. Of course, we're helped out by the Bay of Plenty Sport Climbing Association, and we get to use the facility at Rocktopia here in Mt Maunganui, which has been amazing. It definitely is something that gets absolutely trashed for a week when you have a competition in here. All the rock climbing holds have to be taken off all the walls, everything gets water blasted. Basically the facility has to close for us to be able to run a big event like this. So it's really amazing. And so far, we've been rewarded with some really incredible climbing.
Yeah. Watching these replays, yeah.
So this is Duggan being the only top on this French cheese climb that we've called it. It was the only time we've seen a top happen there. You see him establishing himself on that top hold and gaining the points from that. So here are a couple of our volunteers helping out there, and the competitors are all in an isolation zone at the moment, so they haven't seen these climbs that they're going to be doing. So we're just getting this set up now, and then the climbers will come out and they'll have 4 minutes to view the climb that they will be climbing. The senior females are climbing the orange climb, and the senior males are climbing the green climb. So they'll come out, they'll have 4 minutes to try and work out what they need to do to get up these climbs, and then once they've had their 4 minutes, they'll go back into the isolation zone, and then they come out one at a time in reverse ranked order. So the person who's ranked 8th at the moment will be climbing first, and the person who's ranked first at the moment will be climbing 8th. So theoretically, we get to see people getting further and further along the route as we go. But it doesn't always happen, does it, Georgia?
Yeah. Especially with this combined format where, somebody might have a strengthened lead and not as well in the others.
That's right, yeah. So, sometimes too that the person coming out first has no pressure on them. They're ranked 8th. They have no pressure at all. And then all of a sudden they perform more to their potential, whereas some of the others that are ranked first end up having a bit of pressure on them and not doing so well. But, I'm not making any predictions today. It's been some amazing climbing.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had lead climbing during secondary school.
You're right, Georgia, it is. So we changed the format of our secondary schools competition to include a more prestigious event for the senior competitors that is based on the Olympic formula that was used at the Tokyo Olympics. So Tokyo Olympics were the first time we saw climbing in the Olympics, and at Paris we see climbing again, only in a different version of itself. So at the Tokyo Olympics, the IOC gave the International Climbing Federation 1 medal for the Olympics, and so they had to create a formula that included all 3 of the disciplines. So due to its popularity after the last Olympics in Tokyo, at the Paris Olympics we were awarded 2 medals. So now we can have speed climbing as its own medal, and then boulder and lead climbing will be another medal. So that makes it a lot better, because speed climbers don't normally do bouldering and lead, and boulder and lead climbers don't normally do speed, do they, Georgia?
No, not really.
And that's what's prompted us in New Zealand to start up a high-performance speed climbing program, which Georgia Rangi is part of.
Yeah.
And we do quite a bit of training together, don't we, Georgia?
Yep. Twice a day, most of the days.
Yeah, it's a pretty hardcore program. And we've got a big mountain to climb ahead of us. Sorry to use a climbing pun. But, you know, we're making steps all the time. And one of those steps is the Youth World Championship event, which we've got 4 of our speed climbers at the moment. 4? Who have we got? Flynn, Julian, Misha, Anthony, and Meredith. So 5.
Yeah.
And we broke how many New Zealand records at that event?
All 3 that they all compete in.
Yes, that's right, because there's 3 of the guys are in the under 18 category, and that New Zealand record was broken twice during the event. And then the under 16 females and the under 18 females all had new New Zealand records. So you can see there now, in amongst that chaos is our 16 finalists. So they get given 4 minutes. The only other people in there are route setters and judges. And these finalists are in there having a look at their route, working out. You can see them doing this dance that they do, that climbers are renowned for, where they're using their hands in the air and they're trying to visualize these moves, how they're going to be doing them. So 4 minutes of viewing there. They talk to each other. This is one of the unique things about climbing that I really love. And it doesn't matter whether you're at a world championship event or a local regional event. Every athlete asks each other how they're going to be doing moves. What do you think about this move? What do you think about that move, don't they?
Yeah. It's so cool to, the cohesiveness of it.
Yeah, that's right. Because ultimately too, you know, we're competing against the route setter on the wall rather than competing against each other. It's a really unique thing, and you know, you'll see the French and the Germans and the Swiss and the Austrians all talking to each other, and the Japanese talking with those guys, and everyone is asking, how do you want to do this move? What do you think about this one? Or what's this hold like? And even down to our regional levels, you know, you can see these guys now asking each other, what do you think about that? What should I use here? And then arms up in the air, sort of trying to do the moves themselves from down on the ground. So they're asking the judges questions if they've got questions. They're looking, trying to see. You can see there the big green holds on the right are the route for the males, and the orange climb on the left was the route for the females. Those numbers on the wall don't mean anything. They're from the last round where we had to whip all the holds off the wall and then quickly put up all these green ones. And you can see, look at those dances going on. Down at the speed wall this morning for the speed climbing part of it, we have a rule down at our speed climbing wall that if you get a new personal best, you have to dance. It's called the PB dance. So we had a competition who had the best PB dance this morning. They were very different to these dances we're seeing here right now with these guys, aren't they, Georgia?
Yes. Yeah, very different.
It's not just the athletes that look like they're trying to work out how these routes go. Looks like some of the adults are trying to work out how they're going to climb it afterwards as well. So the way that the scores work is they had their times from speed climbing, and then every athlete gets put into a ranking. So if you're ranked first, that's basically 1 point. If you're ranked 8th, that's 8 points. And then from the bouldering, there's another ranking where you got in the bouldering part of the event. And then those two rankings are multiplied by each other. So if you get a 1 and a 1, that's, what's 1 and 1? 2? 1 times 1 is 1. And if you get first and 8th, then you'd end up with 8 points. Or if you got 7th and 8th,
56.
I had to work that one out. George is a bit faster than me, maybe a bit sharper than me. I've been setting routes for 12 hours a day for the last 4 days. So then you get the lead climbing portion, which is the bit we're up to right now, where they have to take the rope up with them and clip them into the clips along the way. And each hold, as you're climbing higher, is worth more and more points. So it starts off, generally a competition climbing route like this starts off a little bit easier, and it will get harder and harder and harder as you're going up the wall. And so the points are getting progressively more as you're going. It's a great shot behind of one of the climbs from the qualifiers, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So these guys actually don't know what the holds are worth. The judges have that all written on a sheet. But basically, the person who gets the furthest along the route is the winner. And then they will go back, those points for that lead climbing section will be put into a ranking, and that ranking will be multiplied by their speed and boulder disciplines. So it looks like we're pretty close to going, Georgia.
Yeah, everybody's gone back into isolation, ready to come out one by one. Give their best crack at this climb.
Yes, absolutely. So these are our belayers coming out now. Obviously the ones wearing harnesses are the belayers. Some of the others are the ones organising the ropes for the competitors. Our amazing sponsors up on the screen there on the walls. So the ropes coming down from where the competitors were viewing the climbs. So once those are down and the competitors are tied into the ropes, then we will be ready to go. Exciting. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yeah, definitely.
You can see some of the younger competitors trying out some of the things in the background that were on before. Chance to get on them before they come off for Ames Games. So everything gets stripped tomorrow in the whole gym, and then we're into Ames Games tomorrow. So well, me as a setter will be into Ames Games tomorrow. No rest for me. Straight from New Zealand secondary school, straight into Ames Games. I've got another 4 days of setting in front of me.
A lot of work that goes into these comps beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely is. And it's a lot of volunteer work, as most sports are all around the country. It's what holds everything together, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're just waiting now for everybody to be ready to go. We should have results in shortly too from the junior competition. I think that was the speed climbing content of that was during our break. So the junior competitors have all done their competition now, and I haven't seen any results myself, but that'll be really interesting to see how they turned out. So there's judges, and there's timekeepers, and there's videographers that have to be on each route. If anything goes back to a protest, we go back to
an official video, and the climbers have a timer that's going. It's so they don't go over a maximum time that they're allowed to be on the wall, but generally it doesn't come down to how fast they climb the route. It comes down to how far they get along the route. So I say generally because every now and then in a technical incident we might go to time for that, but for the majority of it the climbers are just trying to climb slow, steady, precise, and they get one shot at trying to get as far as they possibly can. There's one of the holds there. Oh, and it looks like we might be ready to come out. So this is our first climber out. And this is Indy Brown from Waitakere College. So Indy will be our first climber, just getting ready to go. And she'll turn now. And she's away. Here's Jack just getting himself ready to go. Jack from Auckland Grammar.
Whakamoa Ngahu, putting his shoes on.
Alright, so you can see how Indy's clipping the clips as she goes. So as she moves up the wall, she'll be, as she gets to one of those quick draws on the wall, she has to clip the rope into it as she goes. She's not allowed to climb past the quick draw without clipping the rope in as she goes. So moving up, big high step there. And there's a quick draw in front of her, which she needs to clip there. So then if she falls, she only falls as far as she is below the last clip or above it, from her waist where her harness is tied in to where the quick draw is clipped onto the wall. So she's got a quick draw there that she'll have to clip. So she's just trying to establish herself on that hold first. Nice. See her reaching up, just trying to get enough rope to clip that clip in. Nice. Alright, so just trying to get her, sort her feet out. She's going to throw for that next one. Oh, she managed to stick that. And she's just hanging from that hold there by left hand, trying to get herself sorted so she can clip in again now. And Indy's looking down at the judges there. I think she's been called down because there's some black tape on the wall and you're not allowed to use anything on the other side of the black tape. So just on one side there, she put her foot around the side. So that doesn't get her disqualified from the climb. She just scores to where she was there. So Jack's about to start climbing on the wall there now. On the green climb. So moving up. And just working out how to clip that first clip. So it's not always so easy to establish yourself in a position where you can hold on with one hand and then pull the rope. So he's doing well there. Great big foot underneath. There he goes, standing on that. Oh, and he slips off on the start there.
Yeah, and unlike boulder, it's only one attempt on the lead.
Yes, that's the difference between boulder and lead climbing. And this is where we talked a little bit about tempo before as well. You know, bouldering is generally a little bit faster, more dynamic, more powerful, whereas the lead climbing, you really have to slow down, be incredibly precise, make sure every move counts because you just get one attempt. A little shot going into the isolation zone there. That's our isolation monitor, making sure no one's coming in, giving any information away. And there'll be climbers in there just tying in, getting ready to go for their next attempt. So remember, we're the first climber out is our 8th ranked climber, And so we'll see our 7th ranked climber coming out shortly. So this is Amy Hague from Tauranga Girls College. Just checking with her judges, making sure that they're ready to go. Obviously a bit of encouragement from the sideline there. And Amy's ready to step up. All right. And we're away. So pressing the palm down into that hold on that green volume there.
Flip the first clip and yeah, moving on to the second.
Nice. So you do have quite a bit of time to climb a lead climb, 6 minutes. So you'll see a lot of the time too, you know, after moving through a hard section, that the athletes will find a bit of a rest spot and they'll just really try and utilize the rest spot. Nice big high step up there from Amy. Very cool. So clipping that clip, just looking around the side there. So Amy finding a nice position to clip from there. Getting that next clip, that's good. Good efficient movement there to clip that clip before she moved out. So it's good.
Swapping the foot to stay in inline.
And being well aware of that black tape too, I think, by the looks of it. Like making sure she's not using anything on the other side. Now get into the roof section here. So this is where it starts getting really tricky, where she'll be hanging what a lot of people like to refer to as being upside down, but to a climber it's not really upside down. Oh, just not being able to load that shoulder into the move. So doing well a little bit further along the route, and just you can see that shoulder trying to engage there. Oh, very strong move. Here's our next climber up. This is Kieran Death from Aquinas College here in Tauranga. So our next climber starting on this green climb. So Kieran Death has been climbing for a long time. Probably not as long as you, Georgia.
We started about the same time, I believe.
Did you?
Yeah. So I guess that's coming up on 6 years, I believe.
Wow. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun?
Oh yeah.
All right, so just moving up past that section that our last climber had a little bit of trouble with. And just clipping as he finds those little spots where he can hold with one hand. Chalking up there, hopefully having a little breath as well. You can see not all the holds are really super good. You can see him just crimping the edge of that. Here's a dual tex hold, one of those ones that had the shiny surface that we talked about in the bouldering. So moving steady, slow and precise. That's the key to lead climbing. Making sure that every move counts. So this move here is a big hold that's facing the wrong way, so you have to step up really high into it and then go underneath. He's going to try and go out. Oh, tries to miss that move altogether. He might come back into it afterwards here. Oh yeah, so you can see with his left hand he's holding onto that little cookie that's on the red there. He's going to try and get his heel up nice. He's got a clip here. He can't move too far past his clip.
Yeah.
So Kieran just moving along the edge of the roof section there now. Clipping as he goes. You can see holding on. And he's just going to start a turn. Coming back towards the main roof area now. Toes hooked up tight there. Now, if he does this section properly, he's supposed to spin his feet right around and come feet first towards the into the gym. So he's going to try and burl his way through it instead, which he does. Doing it the hard way, but still getting there. Now he's up to a section here where he's really got to start working. Oh, and Kieran comes down. Great effort there. Quite a long way through that roof. So looking really good. All right. Just another shot there of Kieran on that final move. So here's Emily Menkinson from, what school is she from? Waikato, Dyson School for Girls. Oh, it even says so on her top, Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to find our list in front of us when we can just look on the screen there. All right, looks like she's ready to go. Got the nod from the judges. And she's into it. Just one last look. They have 40 seconds to get on the wall from when they can turn around. And then they have their 6 minutes time starts after that. So she's away. So looking smooth so far. Quite often the first few moves you try and get rid of your nerves a bit, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't know what's happening here. Oh, she's just checking to see if she could use the edge of the wall. So she's moving up there. She moves away from that edge anyway from now. So just trying to work out how to do these moves. This piece of wall she's on at the moment we call a slab. So it's leaning forwards. So a slab is generally more balancy and more technical to climb on. And then as you get onto an overhanging section of wall, it becomes a little bit more burly and more powerful. What's your favourite sort of climbing, Georgia?
Well, I like speed, obviously, you'd be speed climbing, but yeah. I also quite enjoy all the dynamic dyno moves. They're really fun to try and yeah.
Yeah. Like in the bouldering, the big dynos that you do where you're jumping. Not much big dynos in lead climbing, which we're seeing at the moment. Although occasionally on the world circuit we do get to see them, don't we?
Yeah. And then it's extra exciting because
you're way up on your rope. Emily moving well through this section. So we're just coming up to the point where we lost our last climber, Amy. A couple more moves here. Oh, she's got a nice high step. Oh, that would have worked well. She'd been able to get that foot up. So just taking a bit of time here to compose herself a little, get that next clip. Maybe chalk up if she's got time. Oh, nice little jump there. High foot up. And just taking a little rest here. She's going to move across through that next hold. Nice, manages to catch that. She'll get her feet up on those two on the side there. There we go. So she's got to try and clip here somehow. So there she goes, holding on.
Got that heel on.
She does, got a good strong heel on there. So chalking up now. And she's got to try and move out to that hold you can see on the left there. Oh, getting a high heel on that move. Trying to come around feet first onto that. That's creative. She's been hanging there for a while. She's going to need to move soon. She's going to have to do something to try and get herself moving towards that next hold. Oh, coming back round, getting those feet back up. Oh, what a fight. Such a good fight. Just trying to regain some, flicking her hands there to regain some of that she's lost during that fight that she was having there. What a fighter. So she can't use that green hold that's on that purple volume there, but she can use the volume in the boxes that are on the wall. So she's going to try and drive off there to push towards that next hold. Oh, I think she just ran out of juice during that one. But that was an amazing fight. Really good. So just seeing her trying to work this out here in the replay. Just trying to work out how she's going to move towards that next one. It is quite a powerful move that needs some of that dynamicness we talked about, isn't it?
Yeah. Just a bit of power to get out to that hold.
So here's our next male climber from Automata College, Tom Voller. And just starting on that green climb again. So it's got quite a tricky sort of start coming up on that green. I saw one climber already fall quite low where he was trying to work out how to get through that tricky little section at the start. The route setter must have been wanting them to have the climb start hard right from the start. Seems to be moving through there all right. Nice high feet, stabilizing himself on that sidewall. And just clipping those clips each time they get to one of those clips, making sure that rope comes up. So just bridging between the two walls here. Oh, he's just trying to work out how to get this next move. Goes out to a tiny little hold there. The top of that one above his head is actually a really good hold to hold on to. So he missed that. He must have thought that it looked a bit worse than what it actually was, because he didn't even want to try and go towards that. So that shiny one there, it does have a big shiny surface, but the top of it is a big, good hold to hold on to. So unlucky for Tom there, but that might be a bit of experience, do you think, Georgia?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Tom not been climbing as long as a lot of the other climbers here, doing so well to make it into the final.
Yeah.
But just maybe that little bit of experience.
Yeah, and maybe unfamiliar with that hold, because, it definitely has a nice side to it.
It does, yes. So this is Kara Fitzharris from Mt Maunganui College. One of the local girls that made the final. So cruising up this first little bit. She looked like she was pretty excited to get on the wall.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have new climbs on here.
Indeed it is. Yeah, nice set of new holds on the wall too.
Yeah.
These ones are turned up for the secondary schools climbing championships last year, and we haven't had a chance to use them yet. So this is the first time they've been brought out after secondary schools champs was cancelled a week before the event.
Yeah.
But we're into it. So Kira looking strong at the moment there, just cruising through the section. She's having a little look to see how she's going to read these next moves. Decides to go out right, which is a good option. I think she was trying to go straight out left, wasn't she, Georgia?
Yeah, kind of looked like it, because that hold is nice.
Yeah, I think the one she's going for actually isn't that nice to go for. So just taking a moment here to chalk up and recompose herself, having a little breath. It's always a good option when you sort of feel like you're a little stuck. Just recompose yourself, have a little bit of a shakeout. And she's going to, foot slip there, and she managed to catch herself just as she was changing her hand direction, so that was pretty good. And she's in a good established position there now, so clipping both clips at the same time. So it's good if you can, nice and efficient. And she's high enough now to be able to get that high foot up onto that crescent-shaped hold. So good high step there. There she goes. Brilliant. Oh, and just slips off going for that next hold. So shaking her head, maybe not as high as she was anticipating getting. Oh, look, that's where that foot's popped. That was amazing to be able to hold on to that. Oh, just missing that hold, not quite getting it. I'm not sure if her foot slipped then as well, did it? Or I'm not sure what happened there. Shaking her head on the way down. Here's our next climber in the males climb, Mac Duggan from Hutt Valley High School. Mac, definitely one of the more experienced climbers in the finalists. So, let's see how Mac goes. Mac did really well in the bouldering section of this competition.
Yeah, topped all of them.
Yeah, only competitor to top all of them, wasn't he?
I think only competitor to top 2 of them, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. You can see where Mac's holding the top of that hold now. It's actually quite a good hold to hold on to. Move through there with no trouble. Maintaining that composure is such an important thing for lead climbing.
Yeah, nobody wants to use that big hold.
Yeah, that's right. Route setters trying to force a move that obviously they couldn't quite force. The climbers are moving around it. So Mac moving into the roof section part of this climb now. So this is where it really starts getting challenging. You can see his hands shaking just a little as he's coming up into this section. This is with the Olympic format as well, with the 3 different disciplines. In this day and from yesterday, there's a lot of climbing that's been done. And especially when you've been climbing as hard as Mac did on those boulders, we'll see what sort of toll that takes when you're getting up into here. But he's a very experienced climber. I'm sure he's worked out how he's going. Going up to this sluggy sort of hold here. Oh, it just comes off on that one. Great effort there, though. That was some strong climbing. And read the route really well as well, you know. Didn't muck around too long on those holds. Very cool. So just falling off on that big open-handed hold on the roof there. I imagine that's really hard to hold on to. All right. So here's our next climber from Barradine College, Hannah Mccall. So Hannah getting ready to have the nod from the judges. With Belayer there ready to go. Right, she's matched her ribbon to the climb, I think.
Oh, yeah.
She probably did that on purpose, I think.
Yeah, a bit hard to do since she hadn't seen the climb till.
So I haven't seen Hannah Mccall too much on the national circuit, so I don't really know how much experience she has, but to make the finals today, she must have been climbing really awesome. And in the bouldering, she did really well.
Yeah.
So just trying to work her way through this technical slab section, that section of wall that's leaning forward where you can get really balancy, technical sort of moves. You can see it better there, how much it leans forward. And then straight into the overhanging wall from that. So just establishing herself there to be able to clip that clip. Getting herself into a nice strong position. Shaking out a little bit, just trying to get rid of some of that lactic acid build-up in the forearms. Where your fingers just working so hard all the time. Your forearms really get a good pump.
Yeah, that Waikawa Waiu. That, yeah. Lactic acid build-up.
You don't have a word for French cheese, but you have a word for lactic acid build-up.
Well, no, that's just lactic acid.
All right, lactic acid.
Oh, yeah, I think she's missed that clip.
Yeah, it looks like she's missed a clip there. So every clip must be clipped in sequence. And if you miss a clip, then you get called down. So it looks like just a little bit of that experience we were talking about, possibly. Just by her foot there, you can see it swinging free. And she just clips the next clip. And as soon as that clip is clipped, then she's going to be called down off that climb. So that's a shame. She was looking really strong on there too.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen anyone move past that piece of wall there. All right, so this is our next climber coming up now. Our male climber just starting on the wall there, Jamie Hall from Linfield College. So Jamie did really well in the bouldering as well.
Yeah.
I think possibly could have. I haven't seen the results yet from that bouldering round. Have you seen them, Georgia?
No, I haven't, but I think he topped the first two and zoned the second or the third.
Yeah, so he could well be sitting really high in boulder. But just from the way he was clipping that draw, maybe not as much experience in lead climbing. So this will be really interesting because he's obviously very strong. So we'll see how he climbs through this section here. Quite a technical section at the start of this climb. Oh, nice, much better clip there. Maybe it was just that left-handed clip that was not so easy. And he finds the good spot on that hold there. That's good. Moving nice and slow and steady. Good lead climbing pace.
Yep.
So, looking good at the moment. Just about to move into that overhanging section now. So this piece of wall he's on here is overhanging by 15 degrees. And then he's just about to move into that roof section where he has to then go across that horizontal section of roof. He's got to work out where he can clip here from. So he has to clip very shortly.
Yeah.
Because he's got a clip that he's going to be called down soon because his feet have nearly passed this clip.
And he's, missed that one before.
And as soon as he clips this, he will be called down because he has missed a whole clip there. And he's just looking at the judges, obviously hearing his name being called. What a shame. So that's just lead climbing in competitions is a real experience thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, one of our girls in Dallas did the same thing on the lead.
that's dead right. One of the girls in the New Zealand youth squad at the Youth World Champs in Dallas did the same on one of the climbs. So it can be done at all levels. It's just you get focused on the climb and then you end up sometimes just not seeing the clips hanging there. So that's a shame.
Yeah.
So he'll be a bit disappointed with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just in the background there is one of our local New Zealand legends, Wiz Finneron. One of only 2 professional climbers in New Zealand. And here is Abby Gibbit from Te Kura Correspondence School. So Abby did well on the boulders.
Yeah, and took out the speed.
So let's see how she goes on the sea climb. We haven't seen anyone get past that horizontal section on the roof yet. So let's see how we go.
Don't think she's done lead since lead nationals.
That's a while away. So yeah, it's not really something we practice much anymore in the speeds climbing squad that Abby and Georgia are in. We don't get time to be on slow controlled climbs much, do we?
No.
But Abby will have to climb clever and use her power and move through the sections, and let's see how that goes. There is quite a big shouldery move up the top of this wall, isn't there? So
yeah,
if a big shouldery move is going to suit anyone, it would be someone who has more power than endurance. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, some good shoulders on her.
Yeah. Abby finds her way through the sequence that has stumped a couple of others. And clips both the clips, which is clever. That shows that experience that you get from competing a lot.
Yeah, I think of everybody, she's probably been climbing the longest.
Yes, yeah, and been to most overseas competitions as well, most international comps. She's been to quite a lot of Youth World Championship events. So I think now this is the furthest we've seen. Oh no, there Emily was up on the same spot, wasn't she?
Equalled at the moment.
Yeah, so let's see how Abby finds her way through this little section. That bit of a struggle section here. Trying to move up to that next one. She looks like she's going to throw for it. She does. Nice work. A great dynamic throw to that big hold there on the edge.
Got that heel on there to chalk up.
Yeah, stabilise the body. And she's getting that heel around the edge there. So looking good at the moment. Just shaking out, trying to get rid of that pump. Just testing to see if she could reach that next clip before she clipped it. And then keeping on moving. So she's going to move around through this green volume that's on the side of the wall there now.
Lots of shaking, lots of chalking.
Yeah, just trying to get rid of that pump. So she's really fighting now. You can see she's really putting in the afterburners, trying to fight as hard as she can. Trying to establish herself on the wall. Trying to get that toe hook in, but it looks like her fingers were stuck in the hole.
Trying for the knee bar there.
And great committed fall on that one. That was great. Oh, she'll be stoked with that. That was a really good effort. Here's that shouldery move that she has to push through, which she went through easily there. Throwing, this is the one that's looked like it's been a bit harder. It's a big throw for that next hold, and good engagement once she hit it, and they're just twisting up into that hold to gain some stability once she hit it. So looking good, just trying to get the knee bar there in, and she couldn't get her knee to lock in, so ending up falling, slipping off, but great fall, great commitment. So here's our next climber. He is William McKnight from Selwyn College, back on that green mail route. So just trying to find out how he can establish himself to put that first clip. And there we go. Nice. Interesting chalk bag, that one.
Yeah, they're the most fun accessory you can have on the wall.
So just bridging between these two walls now. He's got to get his foot up on that big round hold underneath them. Establish himself to clip. Nice. Good clip there. Nice efficient clip. And finding that top of that hold. Good. It's already moved quite high up through there. And coming up now into the overhanging section of this wall.
More of an overhang than what they're already on.
Yeah, so just finding that big hard undercling that everyone else has sort of skipped and gone straight through. So I wonder if he can find a way to go away from, he's in that undercling now. Oh, and just comes off trying to push up into that undercling, which is quite a burly move, that one. You can see him sort of trying to lock in under there and not being able to get anything on that. And just not being able to get up quick enough to get his foot in to be able to establish himself. All right, so here's our next female from Rutherford College. This is Tyra Ibot. So Tyra, yesterday in the qualifying, did really well in the bouldering. I haven't seen Tyra climbing before, but I was really quite impressed by her bouldering skills. A lot of really good bouldering facilities up in Auckland though. So undoubtedly that's where she gets those great talents. In this particular discipline, let's see how she goes with a rope attached to a harness. Moving nice and smooth already from the start, so that looks good. It's just about that change of tempo though, isn't it? Just twisting that quick draw around. Maybe she prefers one way to clip it. And then moving up. Nice and slow and controlled. It's looking good. So it's always good when you're in a good established position to be able to clip a couple of quick draws if you can.
Yeah. Saves a lot of energy.
Look at that, no hands. That's where you can see really that slab that I was talking about, that wall that leans forward. So she's just balancing there on that slab and she's ready to go now. She had a bit of a look, had a bit of a visualization about how she's going to do these moves. She really wants to try and get that foot up on that high step. There we go. She's got it. She realised it wasn't going to work the other way. She moves in. She's got to get to the top of that crescent hold so she can get established again. There she is. Nice. So this next section we would call a little bouldery, do you think, Georgia?
Yeah.
I'd say that this is a bit bouldery, so it could suit a boulderer, this next little section of the wall. Oh. And she slips and comes down just as she's trying to establish herself over. So you could see how her body weight was leaning all the way to the left, and then as she threw left and didn't quite hit the hold very well, she just ended up coming off. Big fall there. Great catch there from Glenda, our belayer. All right, so here's our next male competitor, Finn Mano Simpson from Wellington High School. So Finn, I find, is a very clever climber. He uses his head a lot. He's slow and controlled and precise. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Finn goes on this route. Some of the other climbers in his grade are quite burly and move really fast through climbs, whereas I find that Finn really thinks about things a lot, which is great for a lead climber.
Yeah.
Good hip mobility there as well. Always good for any style of climbing. Mind you, probably any sport is good for flexibility.
Yeah.
Well, or flexibility good for any sport. I think it goes that way around.
He's got his lucky nut on the back of his harness.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't see the top of that arm either. So he's instead of using the really good top part of it, he was pinching the side of the hold. But now he'll realise as he moves up above it that there was a great big top on it that he could have used. Yeah, that thing hanging off the back of his harness there in trad climbing, we would call that a nut. So that's a gold nut. He told me it's his lucky nut, so he always climbs with it on there. I don't actually think it's the thing to climb with, but if it works for him. So he's just trying to work out, having a little rest there. Those holds together that he's pinching over that yellow volume are quite good. He's going up into that undercling. He manages to stick that undercling and move through to the next one. So first guy to use the undercling and not reach through it.
Find that clip.
Yeah, got to make sure he gets that clip there. Which hopefully he does. Yeah, there he goes. Obviously the crowd giving him some encouragement there after the last person missed that clip. So the rules for climbing say that the spectators aren't allowed to tell them what to do, but definitely if they do something good they can clap for that. He looks like he's having a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
That long hair hanging down on that horizontal wall. So he's got two good toe hooks happening there as he moves into the really tricky sequence now through this next roof section. So he's just enjoying it up there at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it should be all about, isn't it? Yeah. That enjoyment of the climbs and the reason why we all climb. So he's got a clip right there that he has to clip. Nice work. He's got a knee bar there where he had his left knee jammed into that hold as well, with his left foot pushing into the other hold. So now this is where the work really starts. So he's made it through quite a tough section. It ramps up a whole nother lot now. So he moved off that big green open-handed hold towards the next one. So theoretically he should be getting awarded the move off the big green one. Whereas I think, as I say, I'm not the judge, so this is only preliminary sort of a call on it, but the other guys had fallen off the big open-handed hold. So he should possibly be half a point in front at the moment. But as I say, don't take that as gospel. I'm not the judge. You see him on there. And then his next move actually moves towards the next hold. And yeah, that was a great effort there. All right, here's our next climber coming out. From Otomotai College in Tauranga, it's Eva Karina. So Eva was sporting a wrist guard before, so I don't know if she's got a twinge in her wrist or something, but looks like she's good to go now. Racing up there. Quite a seasoned competitor too, although not as much time on the national circuit, but definitely been climbing for a long time and doing a lot of regional and local competitions. Oh, utilising a knee there. So just taking her time while she's still on that slab to have a breather, just get rid of some of the nerves that you have after being in isolation for a while. Because remember, these guys in isolation, they haven't been able to see any of the other climbers on the wall, so they don't know where anyone's got. So the first time they get to come out and climb the climb, they have no idea how far they need to get along the climb to then do well in it. So it's a bit of a mind game. So sometimes when you're coming out of isolation, the first few moves on the climb are just to try and get rid of some of those nerves that you might have been accumulating while sitting in the isolation zone. What's the isolation zone like, Georgia? Is it a bit intimidating in there?
Can be, but I think it's mostly in your own head.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it looks like Eva's having a bit of fun on the wall there.
And you need some good ventilation.
You need good ventilation in isolation. Have you had some bad isolation experiences, have you?
Oh, it's just not nice when you're in a little small space of a boulder area and somebody opens up their liquid chalk.
Yeah, liquid chalk has a lot of alcohol content in it. Could get a bit alcohol smelling. And I would imagine sometimes in isolation having a whole lot of athletes trying to warm up as well, if the space is small, might not be so good.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Eva committing to this move. And there she goes, the crowd giving her a lot of encouragement after committing to actually doing that move. That's good. She does like yeah, she likes using her knees, doesn't she? Got that clip clipped. She needs to try and compose herself a little. She's looking a little bit scattered here. Looks like her focus is a bit better now. Oh, moving out the wrong way. We've got a lot of the females have tried going that way. Oh, and another foot pop.
I think just from the ground, that hold looks better.
Yes, right. So it must be that when they're reaching up to it, it's not as good as they thought it was going to be. But then once you're up a little higher, I think it's not too bad. So she's got to get her foot nice and high up on that crescent-shaped hold now. But she looks like she's going to try and pop to the next hold, which is we would call that a low percentage move, because she's got to try and get out of that now. Oh. So good effort there for Eva. Never really found her momentum, I think, on that one. But nonetheless, did well to get right up to that roof section. You can see her eyeing up that pop, and now she's too spread out. Tippy toes and fingertips, and then not being able to do much after that, and the fingertips on just didn't give her enough purchase to be able to get that foot around and get it onto the wall. All right, here's our next competitor out. Isaac Rose from Tauranga Boys College. Works here at Rocktopia in Mt Maunganui. So definitely a home advantage for him.
Yep. Wasn't able to work last night because...
Well, he actually was rostered on to work, but I had to kick him out because he wasn't allowed in here because I couldn't see the roots. So just working his way through this rather tricky start sequence. It's definitely one that's a little bit more tricky than the female start. That female start on the slab section is a little bit cruisier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice, hits that good part of that hold, which does make that move a lot easier than the guys that have been trying to go a different way. All right, so now how's he going to move through this section? So the guys that have got through this section easily have actually reached past this big undercling. Oh, he's going up into the undercling. He'll have to establish himself really high. Oh, he's reached through to a tiny little foothold there. Oh, and just falls going for that. So So just trying to get that foot on the top, driving up. He actually tried to bump. Yeah, just didn't get over into it. Didn't get his weight over his foot far enough to get his hips above his foot and drive with that leg. So I think that might have been the last climber. So we're going to go to a break soon, and we'll be coming back with the results and the podiums, I'm sure. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you really soon.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather.
Hi, I'm Rob from Climbing New Zealand, and we're back at the Secondary Schools New Zealand Climbing Championships. Caltex is one of our sponsors, and Caltex are delighted to be supporting school sport, and we will be sponsoring the Good Sport Award at the upcoming New Zealand Secondary Schools Champs, which is now. We've received quite a few nominations for this, and the winner of the Caltex Good Sport Award is Mike O'Keefe from Auckland. So here's your Caltex Good Sports bag of goodies.
Oh, cheers.
And I know that Mike has been doing some amazing stuff with climbing in Auckland. He has done some very cool things with getting all the climbers up there together and getting them going. And thank you, Mike, for all you do for climbing in New Zealand. I think it's great.
Oh, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure to be involved. We started looking at what we were doing in Auckland back in our first AIMS game held here 5 years ago, and we had 6 kids. Now we're at National Secondary Schools with 30. So it's been a journey, and we've had a great time. And again, thanks to Caltex who support kids. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here having such a fun, great event.
Yeah, and we've got AIMS games coming up. Have you got a big team for AIMS games as well?
Not as big as we would like, so that's our next challenge, is to grow that next youth market, but we're getting there.
Cool. All right, well, thanks, Mike, and thanks for Caltex for supporting school sport. And back over to our feed.
This isn't about cameras. It's about getting a better shot so you can get a better result. A great photo of your property is more important than a picture of our agent.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay an App to speed on through. Oh yeah, feels good. Use it at your local participating Caltex.
make a boys one.
They do have some medals going.
Put right into those, so that's
so exciting for Emily.
Get back in there.
least everyone didn't top the boulders at all of these. My favourite leaf. Good there. You did there. And you know what? This is on live TV. Just climb over the feed wall. Yeah. Well, they said it has to go to school. There's medal. I wonder who won the cup. My mum was so eager to get it, so eager to get the trophy.
Alright, I'm going to get Stu from Bailey's to come up and join us. Bailey's are the main sponsor for the secondary schools climbing championship, so let's have a big round of support for Bailey's. Bailey's support a lot of stuff in our community and a lot of the sports all around the country, so without these sort of guys that are involved in our community sports, a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen. So make sure when you're looking at sponsors and you're looking at doing things that you look at the guys that support our sports and support our community things. So thank you, Stu. So Stu's going to help us to hand out the medals. We're going to start with the junior females. So in third place from Waikato, Dyson, let's hear it for Rena Park. In second place, from John Paul College, let's hear it for Flossie Smith. And in first place, and your 2022 New Zealand Secondary Schools Junior Female Champion, from Wellington High School, let's hear it for Io Arnold Clark. All right, let's give them all a big round of applause. In the junior males from Hutt Valley High School, let's hear it for Jamie Birchler. And in second place from Northcote College, let's hear it for Luca Sugimoto Faulkner. And in first place, and your 2022 New Zealand Secondary Schools Junior Male Champion from Northcote College, let's hear it for Keisha Cerner Northcote. Cerner. Jump up on the app. All right, let's give them a big round of applause. In the senior competition, in the females, in third place from Rutherford College, let's hear it for Tyra Ibot. Tyra, sorry. Jump up on this thing. And in second place from Waikato Dyson School for Girls, let's hear it for Emily Menkinson. And in first place, and your 2022 New Zealand Secondary Schools Senior Female Champion, from Te Kura Correspondence School, let's hear it for Abby Gibbons. All right, let's hear it for those winners. And in the senior male finals, in third place from Linfield College, let's hear it for Jamie Hall. In second place from Aquinas College, let's hear it for Karen Deck. And in first place, and your 2022 New Zealand Secondary Schools Senior Male Champion from Hutt Valley High School, let's hear it for Mac Duggan. All right, let's hear it for those guys. And just in hot off the press, we have the result of the school in third place with an amount of points I have no idea of. Waikato Dyson School for Girls. Someone can come up. I don't know how everyone will fit on the number 3 spot, but you can gather in around there. In second place, Northcote College. There must be more than 2. Just 2? Wow. Over this side, guys. And in first place, and the winner of the New Zealand Secondary Schools School Trophy, let's hear it for Hutt Valley High School. All right. All right, thank you, everybody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this downtown apartment is the perfect first property. Our vendors have a new baby, they're moving on, so we're selling this today. Do I have any more bids? One bid here, thank you. I've got a bid there. We've got one more here. Yes, we have one more bid. We have a bid here. Do we have any more final
This
bids?
isn't about just selling one property. It's about getting a better result for our clients.
Sold!
So we can help them with their next property, the one after that, and the one after that.